By the time you reach the 1970s, downtown is really beginning to struggle a lot with retail. That would include restaurants and department stores as you have a migration out of the city into the suburbs. In the 1880s, Louis Wolferman and his family moved to Kansas City from Milwaukee, and he began a grocery store. They were at 9th and Oak, and Fred Wolferman decided that he would help out his father. They would horse-drawn wagon deliver people's groceries, and they worked incredibly long hours, getting to the office early in the morning, taking people's orders, and having everything delivered by the afternoon. They suffered a fire early on in their tenure there, and instead of being defeated by that, they used that as an opportunity to go ahead and entirely rebuild and remodel the Wolferman's Grocery to go also into the restaurant business. Lots of people were getting groceries that were delivered at that time, but what made them stand out was the speed and the quality. And to compete, they typically made sure that they beat the orders to the door faster than competitors, and that the quality of what they were serving was excellent. And Fred Wolferman, who took over the business, was just absolutely a talent at getting along with people. He would taste everything himself before anything was served in the restaurant or before anything was sold. They had 3 restaurants. The most elegant was the Tiffin Room, that was on the 2nd floor. And then they had what was called the Balcony Restaurant. And then in the basement, they had a grill. And in all 3 of these cases, they were using the ingredients that they were producing from a farm that they had actually decided to build off of Holmes Road, so they could have their own dairy, they could have their own poultry, their own eggs, their own vegetables. Part of Fred's genius was he was able to detect where streetcar lines were going to be laid before they were laid. And so he ended up conveniently located where there was a stop, so people who were shopping didn't have to go too far to get their groceries and then get on the streetcar to go home. Klein's department store was being razed in 1971, and in the process of bringing that building down, there was an unexpected crash. So in 1971, Wolferman's ended its downtown location. It began to liquidate all of its grocery stores and its various restaurants, and it began to focus exclusively on the English muffin. Their gourmet market is getting eaten into by bigger and bigger grocery stores who have massive amounts of money to pour into a, quote, new gourmet line. So that would have had an effect as well. If you're interested in Wolferman's English muffins, that you want to look for the 1910 version, because that is the one that's based on the original Wolferman's English muffin. I think at this point there's like 20 different varieties. I don't think Fred Wolferman would have been impressed by that.